Welcome to Awake to Oneness Radio. I am Caroline Chang, your host. The mission of Awake to Oneness Radio is to inspire the world to awaken to the universal truth of oneness. Science is now teaching us that everything is energy. And that energy is interconnected and interdependent. In essence, that energy is one thing. And now ancient wisdom and spirituality has been teaching the truth of oneness for eons, and science is now catching up. But this isn't even new science. This is the science of quantum physics, which is over 100 years old. So basically, what you do to another person, you are literally doing to another aspect of yourself. And when mankind awakens to the universal truth of oneness, there will be peace on earth. Today's show topic is Ascension Times with Caroline Oceana Ryan. Welcome, Caroline, to Awake to Oneness Radio.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Really lovely to be here.
Yeah, you got two sweet Carolines for the price of one. Yes, thank you. And it is so, now we scheduled this a while ago, the show, and we had no idea what was going to transpire. But I mean, Ascension Times, we're smack dab in the middle of it right now. Yeah. So please share with our listeners. I discovered your channelings on Higher Selves YouTube channel. That's how I discovered you. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation and being my guest. Will you please share with our listeners your journey?
Well, like with everyone, it began in childhood, obviously, because what happens to you there is an interesting echo of what's happened in other lives, and it's also often presents its own challenges. Mm-hmm. So I've always been a creative person. I've always had a sense of telepathy, energetically, a sense of empathy with other people. And I knew as a child that there were other presences in the room. I knew when there were angels. I knew when there were lower, darker entities, and they frightened me. And my family was a very outwardly sort of successful, happy family, but inwardly, if you lived there, you knew there were a lot of problems. And when I was 35, I had memories coming up after my quote unquote father died, of him sexually abusing me starting in infancy through the age of 7. So really, when someone is abused, that's there. Even before you recover the memories, the trauma is there. Yes. And what I've discovered over the past few years is that it's not only a matter of trauma that occurred in this life, it's a matter of trauma that occurred in many other lives. And it comes up in this life, finally, to be healed. I can tell you I won't be returning to a 3rd dimensional Earth. I'll come back to a 5th or 6th dimensional Earth, but I will not be returning to a 3rd dimensional Earth.
I'm right there with you.
So this is a time for me, for you, for millions upon millions of us to say, I'm going to heal all this old, wretched, awful stuff that's happened that comes back into the body each time I reincarnate, comes back in. And there was a lot of mixed messages and a lot of yelling, and he was probably bipolar, but undiagnosed and untreated. So, and a perfectionist, etc., and a Protestant minister, a Baptist minister. So when he was angry and shouting and throwing things, it felt like God was angry at me. So I adopted what I was raised with, was a sort of evangelical Christianity, which I don't judge it at all, but I found over time that's not it for me. That's not my authentic self. That's not who I am. And I've never felt that Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth himself, had abandoned me or was a bad person or I hated. I never, no matter how bad things got, I never felt that. I felt, and what I've experienced as well as an adult, that he's not very happy about how the church has gone at times, persecuting and causing a lot of chaos and violence over the centuries. So I just came into a totally different appreciation of him and his teachings, and as well learned about the Buddha and some of the Hindu teachings as well. And it's just been a huge ongoing path where I was a poet when I was younger. And then I was very depressed for 5.5 years in my teenage years because I had a severe biochemical imbalance, a ton of copper in my brain and liver, which they call Wilson's disease. So I finally, my mother sort of accidentally, but divinely led, I think, she took me to the right doctor and he put me on orthomolecular therapy, which is vitamin therapy, and that helped. By the time I was 17 and a half, I kind of got my life back. But at that point, I traveled through a ton of pain, a ton of anxiety. I was the worst case he'd ever seen. And I was drawn in my teens and 20s and even my early 30s, drawn to men who are either womanizers or abusers because that's what I came from. So by my early 30s, or actually my late 20s, I was a seminary student in New York City. I started reading books like You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, and Sandra Ray's book on, I can't remember the name of it, on birthing, rebirth. And absolutely astounding. And I'm looking at these books, and then I started reading Catherine Ponder's prosperity books as well. So I always had a struggle with money and lack as well. And I thought, wow, what is this? The universe loves me? What are you talking about? I'd never been taught that. And I thought, what do you mean we're all divine? We've all got divinity within. And then I started listening to guided meditation, so that by my early mid-30s, everything started to transform. What's interesting is that was like 1993, 94. At that time, from what I understand, there was a big turnaround. This is after the harmonic convergence of 1987, which is when I started reading all this lovely stuff that people call New Age then. And by 93, 94, more higher light was coming into the planet. And like many people, I was feeling the effects of that and asking for more in my life. I don't just want an office job or want a job teaching kids. I want to do exactly what I'm here to do, and I want to help other people. And it took a while. I'd always been able to channel. Starting when I was little, I would talk to angels. I was able to bring in messages. But right around, I guess by 2014, I saw all this channeling on the websites and everything online. And I thought, I've channeled to get answers to my own questions. I've asked my higher self things. Why can't I channel? And I thought, I don't know who I would bring in. Well, within a day, this lovely group, I could see them in my mind's eye. They came forward and I could tell they were beautiful higher beings. They seemed to be galactic, maybe angelic as well, some of them. And they said, we have messages for light workers. Could you please take them down and share them? This was in March of 2014, exactly 6 years ago. So I started doing that, and people started reading them online, and it's just spread since then. And I'm really thankful for the people who subscribe, to my website and are interested in the meditations I put out in the books, which are all channeled now. My first book was about Northern Ireland because I lived there for a few times, but about the peace process there. But after that, they've all been channeled. And I'm very, very thankful because I, for years, struggled with this. I thought, I don't just want to spout my opinion or my viewpoint because that might work for me, but not someone else. So this kind of solved that problem. It answered that question. I've just been very thankful for the wisdom of the collective. They call themselves the collective. I said to them at first, what do you call yourselves? And they said, the collective, for we speak as one. And I thought that was absolutely beautiful. So that's it in a nutshell, Caroline. I don't want to bore you with the whole story, but that's it. It hasn't always been easy, but it has led to great moments of beauty.
Yes,
very thankful.
Not boring at all, because I resonate so much with what you're saying. Like I said, I launched my show 5 years ago, and I've done close to 200 shows. And when guests share, it's like, okay, we're all one. It's like, really, because I've gone through the exact same thing, uniquely different, but I was sent to Catholic school, never resonated with me. I never had like a direct ability to channel. Actually, I'll take that back. I think we all have the ability to channel.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't something that I, from a very young age, always followed spirit guidance. Didn't know that's what I was doing. till later on in life.
Yes, indeed.
No,
Sure.
it was an inner urge, an inner knowing. Like when I was sent to Catholic school, the dogma of Catholicism just didn't resonate with me, and I couldn't talk about it to anybody. This was in the mid 60s, and my father said children are to be seen and not heard, and
Yeah.
I couldn't question anything that just didn't sit well with me. I had to wait till I was old enough, and in my teens, I started doing my own research like you, finding books that resonated. And it wasn't until 2007 with me, and it was quantum physics. It was the film, What the Bleep, that
Yeah.
something woke up inside of me. It wasn't
Wonderful.
an intellectual knowing. It wasn't, it wasn't intellectual. It wasn't from the mind. It was heart and soul. And it was understanding the universal truth of oneness. And to me, that was such a simple concept. And when we get that, there is truly no separation,
Yeah.
that we are all truly one. Like I love that you say that your guides say the collectives, because we speak as one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a universal truth,
Yeah.
is the oneness.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, and once I understood oneness, everything else made sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything. It was like, I get it now. I truly get it. And to me, it was a simple understanding. And I'm like, why doesn't everybody get this? Because this is not complicated. This is not rocket science. And everywhere you look, science, spirituality, nature, ancient wisdom, all religions at the core is oneness, unconditional love. That's at the core of all religions. It's everywhere you look is oneness. And it's like, how do people not get this?
Yeah.
So,
Well, we see it in nature, don't we? How there's no one process, no being that lives in isolation. That little insect or that flower, that blade of grass affects everything around it.
yes.
Every molecule of water affects everything around it.
Yes.
And yet we don't put it together that it also applies to us, because we bought into separatism because we were trained in that.
Yes. But if we open our eyes, because science is quantum physics, like I said, isn't even new science. Quantum physics has been around for over 100 years. And the core of quantum physics is oneness. Matter of fact, everything, all of the new technology, laptops, computers, smartphones, smart television, all of today's technology comes from quantum physics, which at the core of quantum physics is the unified field that everything is interconnected and interdependent. Everything is one thing.
Yes.
And so even from the science perspective, I mean, science is just now at the tip of the iceberg. There's much more, but even that, we have evolved as a species to know scientifically we're all one. And it's like, okay, so why don't people get this? It's like, but I love how you mentioned in the beginning about dimensions, that you will not come back to a third dimensional Earth. Let's talk about that, because here's the thing. I just posted a vlog yesterday, and I was talking about the 3D, the 4D, and the 5D perspective. Because right now, where we are, it's all here and now. There are people looking at this situation with the coronavirus and the pandemic, the global pandemic. People are looking at the situation from a 3D perspective, which all perspectives are honored. All, like, I don't claim to be of any one religion, but I have respect and honor for all religions, because I know we're all one, and I just don't distinguish, and I don't debate religion. But so there are people here on the planet looking at what we're going through right now from a 3D perspective, meaning they're glued to that mainstream news, which is just spewing out fear and pandemic and like, just all this low vibration energy. And they're just, oh my God, I've got to protect my family. I got to stay away from people. I've got, this virus is like another black plague, and, all of that. That's the 3D perspective. Then you have the 4D perspective, where I see there are people talking about the cabal and how 1% of the world controls the rest of the world. And there is truth to that, but their mindset is still this them versus us, and the light is going to overcome the dark. And but it's still a mindset of duality. It's still a mindset of them versus us. And the 5D perspective, so that's the 4D perspective. And then the 5D perspective is the oneness. Mm-hmm. There is no them versus us. The cabal is our shadow side. It's not separate from us.
Yes. Well,
it's like you said, we come back each lifetime to clean out what we've experienced in many other lifetimes. So the same thing here is happening. We have to clear all that out. We are clear right now to make this jump to the 5D earth. We have to clear out all of the shadow side. So, and the only way to clear that out is to shine the light of love. Like they say in science, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. And we transform the dark by shining the love of light. By shining our light onto the dark is how it transforms, because it's not separate from us. And to make it to the 5D, now 5D is nothing but light. There is no separation. There is no duality in 5D. So I was saying right now, we are on this earth going through an ascension, and we have individuals focusing 3D, 4D, and 5D. Yeah. But I do believe 2020, this year, is a year we have to make up our mind.
I agree.
Yeah, I think I don't know how it actually works, but after this year, I think you have to choose which train to be on. And I think of 4D as the bridge between 3D and 5D. And I don't think you can stay on the bridge much longer. No. I don't think you can keep 1 foot in 3D and 1 foot in 5D much longer. You have to decide, where am I going to focus my attention? Because we are divine beings of light, and we are creating our own reality, our own experience with our attention. So if we're going to just focus on the physical, the 3D earth, that's kind of the train we're going to be on. But if we decide, okay, no, I want to focus on only 5D earth. I know what's going on in 3D. I'm not separate from it. I know what's going on, but my focus will be 5D, because I want to be on that 5D train. And I think it by the end of this year, 2020, something big is going to happen. I believe it's around the winter solstice. So because I listen to a lot of channel information like you, that's where I get my news. I stopped listening to mainstream news, and it was my higher self told me. It was 2 weeks after 9/11 in 2001. My higher self told me, turn off that news and never turn it back on. And I wasn't awakened at that time. I didn't know why. And I even said, why? Honestly, I said it aloud. Why? And then I was like, okay, I'll be obedient. I don't know why I'm turning off the news. I found out many years later why. My higher self didn't want my being to be bombarded with all that negative energy, because it's all about energy.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Yeah. Beautiful. Perfect. I think maybe it's possible that you used to listen to your higher self and speak with her easily when you were very, very small, and you simply regained that. We're taught, we're veered away from that. We're taught to distrust the inner voice and only listen to the left brain logic, and how we're trained and how we're raised, by others, and other people are your authority. You can't be your own authority. And all that's ending now. And how tremendous, it's so tremendous to realize our freedom is burgeoning. It's just blossoming and getting stronger and stronger.
Yes.
And absolutely. I also see this requirement now for those who want to move forward, that we're going to have to move into unity consciousness, like you were saying. And from there, we'll move into oneness, where we just don't even see differences. It's all just this beautiful flow and acceptance. And I absolutely am with you when you say that if other people have their religion, that's up to them. I feel like everybody's got their particular path, and it might be plaid, it might be yellow, it might be green, but it's just their path, and we can't say green is bad or yellow is bad. We can't do that.
Right. There's no judging. Yeah, there's no judgment. And that's what in unity consciousness and there's unconditional love, no judgment, because we all are, we see each other regardless of where a person is on their path. We see them as a divine being of light.
A divine being.
Like a divine being of light. And they are creating their own reality for that reason. That soul, that higher self has a reason that it's choosing that path. And we can't judge another person's path. So all I feel like I can do is be a living example of the oneness, and then, share with the world the oneness with the show. That was another being inspired in the middle of the night. Yeah.
You're right at the crest of that wave as it's coming into the shore, because this is where we are now as a human race. And when we see certain politicians that we spot their corruption, or this party or that party is doing this and that, this country, on and on and on. And we can say, okay, I don't like that necessarily. I can't really hug that close to me like a warm puppy. It's not sweet. It's not nice. But okay, that's our shadow side.
Yes.
We're going to have to accept this now. We're going to have to say that too is me.
Exactly. That's where the that's where the rubber meets the road, because we can't take that them against us mentality with us to 5D. We have to realize there is no other. There's only one. Yeah. And that's how we just jump right into 5D, when we embrace the oneness. We embrace that there is no separation.
Caroline, I don't know if you enjoy Eckhart Tolle's work at all.
Oh, I love it.
It's really wonderful. And I read The Power of Now in the New Earth ages ago, and now I'm listening to The Power of Now again on Audible. And I just have it playing while I'm driving. And it's so wonderful, because he talks about non-attachment, non-resistance. And that doesn't mean you let other people treat you badly. It doesn't mean,
of course not. You're not a doormat.
If someone's sick, you just go, that's nice, and you smile and wave. It doesn't mean that at all, obviously, for those who haven't read it. But it does mean you stop attaching on an ego level and needing people or situations to be a particular way, because that will make you happy. Totally conditional happiness that isn't really happiness. And he talks about the good, quote, the good that has no opposite, unquote, which is so beautiful, so incredibly beautiful. And we only walk into that, like you say, from that beautiful place of divine neutrality, of not needing other people and situations and belief systems to flow with our preferences, but just to allow and just let go. Don't be attached to outcomes or opinions,
Exactly.
Let go. And how freeing is that?
Yes.
I mean, it's still, even after all these years, it's still on some levels a new idea for me, because I've always been this debater, and I got to express this idea, and this is really important to me, and persuasive writing and stuff like that.
Yes.
But, as I was saying earlier today, I thought, I don't want to just express my opinion. Is that who I am as a writer? Is that the point?
Right.
I'm just going to push my opinion.
Actually, there's not push your opinion, express your opinion.
Yes.
I look at that's two different things, because that's what I do on this show. And I'm writing my first book. So yes, I do express and share my opinion, but it's not something I'm noticing all these different things pop up, but I hope they don't come in the video. I don't think they will. How the computer pops up messages. But I don't think sharing your opinion is pushing your opinion. I think we all should share what resonates as true for us. Share in love.
In love,
Share
right.
in love.
So you don't need the other person to say, okay, you're right and I was wrong. You don't need that moment.
No.
You're just
Because
saying, this is where I am. I
exactly.
honor, namaste, I honor the divinity within me and you, you know?
Yes. Exactly. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that humanity, 3D humanity suffers from. It's I have to be right-itis.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, a person can have two, and I've had wonderful conversations with people who have totally opposite viewpoints than me. But here's the thing, they are shocked because here are two people. Matter of fact, I just had a show like that. There was two main points, my guest and I, and we had a great show. The show went an hour and 27 minutes because we had such a good time, and we had opposing viewpoints, two major opposing viewpoints. But it was such a beautiful demonstration of how you can have a loving and respectful conversation with another being of light that has opposite opinion. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's in love. This is what resonates with me. In love, this is what resonates with you. They don't have to be the same. That is the only way we are going to see world peace, because there are 7 billion people on the planet, and all 7 billion persons or people, they're all unique divine aspects of God, and they're not going to all agree. It's not about agreeing. It's about knowing that we are all a divine being of light, and we all have a unique, because we're all God with a unique perspective of when no two are alike, just like no two snowflakes are alike, and we're not supposed to be. So
yes, exactly.
Oneness does not mean sameness.
No, exactly.
It means equal. It means we're equal, but we're not. We are unique divine aspects of God. All that is. And my term for God is all that is. Yes.
Beautiful.
Now, please share with the listeners. Like I said, I don't personally channel myself. I don't think that was a path that my soul chose. But there are some people that naturally channel, like you. Now, how do you do automatic writing? How does that work with you?
Yeah, it is that, or they speak through me. You know, verbally, they just speak right through me, like when I do a live call, conference call, or webinar, that kind of thing, telesummit. And yes, when I'm writing, it just comes through. I used to have to say, just pause a moment, ask them to come through, but now it's very automatic. It just flows. They're just always there. So that's really nice, you know. That's really a nice sort of progression, which I realized one day. I thought, oh, I didn't ask them to come through. Is this me? And I looked at it, you know, I backed up and looked at the writing, and I thought, no, because this isn't really how I express myself. It's how they express themselves. And also, they'll bring through information that I don't know.
Right.
Like, I was on a call last night, a live conference call, which is a lovely community, and they said to everyone, you know, you're not only drawing in and then reflecting back and sharing the light data pouring in from the great central sun, you're also very consciously on a soul level calling forth new forms of light data. And you're calling them to you, because light is sentient. It does hear us, and it will come to us. And these are like particles of new, not just knowledge, I would say, but new forms of wisdom and healing and empowerment that are flowing to us, flowing to the whole planet now. And we're anchoring that. And it didn't even occur to me we could do that. I thought we were just these lovely receptors of what's flowing in from, you know, the cosmos. And we are.
We receive it, and then it's both. And I always say, now, one of the things I realized when I woke up to oneness, it's not this or that. It's always this and that.
And that,
Yes. Would you like to share? Would you like to invite in the collective to share?
Yes, sure.
Oh, awesome. That would be great.
What is there a particular issue you'd like them to speak about?
We're in the midst of a global pandemic. That would
Yes,
be good to
that
talk
would be
about.
a big issue to talk about, wouldn't it?
Yes,
That's a
yes,
good
yes.
point. All righty, sure. All right, so we'll see what their comments are on that. If you just want to sort of everyone breathe in deeply through the nose with mouth closed, slowly, and then slowly release the breath through the open mouth, and just continue that for a moment or two. And what that does is open your energies and put you in the heart space. It brings you out of the mental chatter. And just give me a moment and I'll bring them in. Just keep deep breathing. Well, greetings, dear ones. We are very pleased to have this time to speak with you today. And so we are honored, as always, to be in a beautiful community of light beings who are so full of love and caring and compassion at this time. And certainly you have your friends and your family and your job and finances and health to think of, but we see these beautiful lines of light pouring out from your heart, going out to literally millions and even billions of people around the world, wishing to encourage, wishing to sustain and reassure and calm each person, particularly children, the elderly, persons who you know are vulnerable either physically or mentally, emotionally, or all of that. So we must thank you for that. I wish to allow you to fully realize you're not alone in this, that there is great help that is rushing forward now to assist, and that the situation will not reach the levels of devastation that some of your health people, experts as they're called, have suggested. This does not mean throw all caution to the wind and hug every stranger and don't take your vitamin C and don't get enough rest. It doesn't mean that at all. Certainly take your vitamin C. If you have nanoself, or wonderful, take some drops of that each day. If you can get adequate rest, 9-10 hours at night, very good. If you can meditate, this revitalizes and restores the body. Likewise, time in nature, as well as calming the spirit, the mind, the emotions, anything positive you can do for yourselves. And as the dear one was saying, please do step away from the news. If you take in a few minutes each day, all right, but don't take in more than that, because the intent of many of the broadcasts is to spread panic. Now, why would they do that, you're thinking? Well, rather logically, these people earn more money when there are more people tuning in, because they can charge their sponsors higher rates. So just be aware there is a business behind their business, and you must protect yourself from the density of some of these messages. Just because you read something online or see it online on television or via the radio, it doesn't mean that, yes, this is absolutely going to happen. Now let's work on this timeline you're in now. On the earth, you just want to breathe deeply and release through an open mouth. Come in more fully into the heart space. And you want to see a sort of a line in front of you with earth events on it. And on that line is beautiful forms of freedom and sovereignty, peace, prosperity, wellness, calm, an end to panic, and the introduction of true justice, truth, beauty, peace, and establishing of a divine order on the planet. So you don't have to necessarily come up with images for all of that lovely stuff. Just fill this line you're seeing, this past, present, future line, and where you're sitting is the present. Fill it up with divine light, so that you see people who are sitting or lying, looking rather helpless, looking desperate, looking sad, looking ill, regaining their strength, standing up, lifting hands with full thanks to their souls, to the universe, to the angelic realms, benevolent galactic friends and family who are assisting now. You are never alone, dear ones. And we're just going to work with you energetically. If you want to bring forward how you're feeling, the tension, anxiety, fear, stress, worry, oh, we're running out of money. What if we run out of food? What if we can't pay our rent or mortgage? All right, yes, that's a legitimate concern, all of it. Many of you have children or someone elderly to care for as well. And you don't want to lose what little foothold you have in the material world. Life is tenuous enough, of course, we understand that. Just bring it forward. Don't worry that you're not being spiritual in those moments when you feel stressed. You just need to take a moment for yourself where you concentrate on nothing but your breathing. Try to sit quietly, lie down, concentrate on the breathing. You do that right now if you'd like while we work with you, and just hand us that stress and that worry. And we see it as a very dark gray cloud, you might say. That's how it shows up. And we're just working on dissipating that, pouring divine golden light, divine silver light in it. Can you just see a beautiful stream of divine golden and silver light, sparkling light pouring down through your whole body, stretching out to include your aura, your radiance, your whole home or workplace, wherever you are right now, as you hear this. And you might want to see a beautiful wave coming up to you. It's full of light rather than water. It's a rushing wave of brilliant white light, and it just breaks so that you are inside of this wave. You can breathe easily in it, don't worry about that. And it's washed away all of that tension and fear. You may not feel an effect immediately, but we will continue working on you. And with your beautiful spirit team of higher self, spirit guides and angelic guardians. This is part of your path. It's not a deviation from it. If you can just accept, as these dear ones were saying earlier, accept without resistance. Yes, this is where we are. Stay in that moment. See if you can stay in that moment and not resist. And accept what is. The moment you accept what is there, and even give thanks for whatever you do have in life, whatever good is there, whatever health, whatever food or money, or love from friends or family, whatever connection to nature you have, any gifts and abilities you have. As soon as you give thanks for that, dear ones, you begin to lift out of sadness and fear and unsureness. If you can make a list every day and list the things that you are fully thankful for. This is very freeing. This is very beautiful, very freeing, and very empowering, because it takes you out of that feeling of, well, we don't have enough, or, oh, what if? And it says, I have been beautifully provided for. I co-create with this universe all the time. I'm doing more of that now. And just speak to the spirit of money itself. It can hear you. Absolutely. And just say, money, you have been my friend. Abundance, you have been my beautiful friend. Will you flow to me in unexpected ways? You know that I have endeavored to serve others with my life. See my humble heart. I ask that you come forward and repay to me the good that I've done, and flow to me in unexpected ways now. If my job can't provide or my business can't provide right now, flow to me in beautiful, unexpected ways. And I know that you will have precise sums in mind. Give thanks throughout the day. Thank you for this $300 that's coming to us today. Thank you so much. Keep giving thanks, and then let go and know that it is coming to you. But you want to be thankful for several hours each day. Just keep repeating, I give thanks for this, whatever it is, $200, $300, $400. Start with that amount. Start with 3 digits and just open to receive and give thanks. Anything that you can give as well to another, beautiful, opens the way to receive. So we'll continue flowing these energies to you, dear ones. And if this dear one, whose name also is Caroline, like our writer, if she has another question, that is fine. We're happy to assist.
Oh, thank you. No, that was so, so beautiful. I love the giving thanks, being thankful in every now moment. I actually started keeping an appreciation and thankful journal in 2000. Yes. And if I don't write it down, I think about it. But I try to write down every day what I'm thankful for, and in every now moment. That is so important. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Still one. No.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Something the collective always say is that remember that, they ask us to remember that they're with us always, because
Yes.
this is a beautiful group of angels, archangels, earth elementals, benevolent ETs, etc. They're, higher dimensional beings, in other words, in our universe, and they're always helping us. And they
Yes.
would say you are never alone, or we are with you always, because they're
Yes.
our partners and friends on this path we're on. We're not
Yes.
necessarily hugely lower than them. It's just that when you're in human form, you feel very vulnerable.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right, right. And
Yeah.
it's so wonderful. Like we were talking about the different dimensions, the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. I've been getting questions lately about, well, when is the fifth dimension 5D Earth going to get here? I've gotten twice in the middle of the night, I got that
Yes.
question, and I had to it's here. It is here. 5D Earth is right here.
It is.
How you access it is with every now moment. Are you thankful? Are you focusing on what you're thankful for? Are you feeling joy and excitement because the awakening is here?
Yeah.
So, but how you feel is going to be what you experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly right. And that's their point in trying to lift us emotionally out of the
Yes.
stuckness and the fear and just the apprehension, just, the anxiety, what if, because when we do tend to live in the future, particularly in US culture, we tend to always be looking forward. Well, that sounds nice. It sounds like we're always looking for innovation and progression, which are nice things. But if you're constantly out there, you're not fully in your body.
Yes.
Very hard to receive that
Yes.
money that we all still require at the moment on this planet in order to pay the electric bill and the food bill and everything else. Very hard if there's nobody home. And also the mind takes over, like Eckhart Tolle warns us. The mind takes over. The mind only believes what it sees around it at the moment. So yeah, we can go into panic and fear if we're looking for constant, obvious evidence that everything's okay. And that's not helpful right now.
Yeah, but what if we do look at the now moment? Like the now is where life happens in this now.
Exactly.
And
That's the point.
I love the power of now, because from that I understand there is only the now. So in this now moment, so I'm not in the future, I'm not in the past, I'm grounded in this now moment. In this now moment, okay, I have heat, I'm warm, I have water, I have food in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
All of my needs are met in this now moment.
Yes, beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. So be thankful if there is a blessing in every now moment. And we will see it if we look for that blessing in every now moment.
Yes, exactly right. Are you willing to admit it is the question. I ask myself that. Are you willing to notice all the things you already have if I start whining about something?
I know. And that's human.
Object, and I'll say, you didn't always own that.
Yes, that's our human mind.
Yes. That came to you. That money came to you. That person came to you. That help. That encouragement. Are you saying there's no more? The universe is out? Rush out.
Very true. But also if we just ground ourselves right here and now, is anything happening terrible to you right here and now?
Yeah.
No. Exactly. Are all your physical air, just breathing, taking a deep breath and breathing in fresh air, that's a blessing in itself. Mm-hmm. So if we really look, we are so blessed in every now moment. But our human nature and society programming always has us out of the now, fretting about what happened in the past, or worrying about what might happen in the future. But we're not in that. When we're there, when we go to the past or the future, we're not living. We're not because we can only live in this now moment.
Exactly right. So we're missing life, basically. Yes. When we're off in our heads or off in the future. Yes, exactly. We're missing.
So true.
Yeah.
Yes.
It took me a long time to realize that, and what they were saying, it's very hard to manifest anything if you're not in the body. Nobody's home. So, the package can't get delivered to anybody. FedEx will take it back. And They won't necessarily leave it at the door, you know?
Yeah.
That
And
kind of-
one of the things that really helped me, because I was really following, and I still do, listen to Eckhart, no, I was about to say Eckhart Tolle. I mean Abraham Hicks.
Oh yeah, sure.
I love Abraham Hicks. But one of the things that I was kind of missing, and I kind of got it more when I went from the Abraham teaching to Seth Speaks.
Oh yeah.
And I got that, and from Bashar, I got the fact that all there truly is, and the power of now, all there truly is the now. And in this now moment, everything that you want is here. It's here vibrationally. Now, when you raise your vibration to match the money, the car, the house, or whatever it is materially that you want, when you raise your vibration to match it, that's when it'll manifest in front of your eyes. But it is here right now. It's not in the past. It's not in the future. It's in the only moment there can be, which is the now.
Yeah.
So that made a big difference for me, because then I stopped wanting, because I'm like, it's here. Yeah. I just have to raise my vibration to see it. So that really helped me a lot.
Well, and in that process of raising your vibration, you're going to see not only something beautiful that you've been desiring or envisioning, you're going to see a lot more besides, because you've just moved into 5D to a good degree, you know?
Exactly.
So perfect. So I think you're already on that 5D train you were talking about.
Well, I'm hoping. I know, but hey, I can honestly say sometimes things happen and it will knock me. So right now, I think we're all kind of fluctuating from 3D, 4D, 5D.
Oh, sure.
I watched the documentary with my neighbor the other night, and it got me like thinking this us versus them thing again. And then the next morning, like my spirit was saying, no, is no other. That other that you're like, you gotta be is you. Okay. So it's like, so I had to, so it's a fluctuation, but I think I think I am trying to be more grounded in 5D. You know, even when something 3D happens, I can see it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's there, but I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna focus. And so it's not like my head is not in the sand. I'm not ignoring it, but I truly understand that we are multi-dimensional beings, and we are creating our experience from how we hold our vibration. So I understand that. So that's why, So I'm on the train right now. I'm on the right train right now. And then in this now moment, that's all that matters.
Fantastic. Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. You're giving us so many beautiful metaphors and beautiful images. And that's absolutely irreplaceable, because the logical mind will really have trouble with these ideas at times. But when we look at metaphors, symbols, images, the right brain so powerfully relates to that. So does the subconscious. So the mind, the heart mind takes it in and understands the value of it and skips past all these blocks, even the subconscious blocks, which is really beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you for that.
And in this time that now a lot is coming up, like you were saying, you were telling us about your childhood. A lot of those things come up to heal. Those pains, they have to come up. And a lot of people will be saying now, wait a second, I thought I dealt with that. But if it's coming up, that means it's coming up, so you can shine a light on it and it can be healed. So you can make that leap. We want to make that leap to the 5D, and to make that leap, we have to heal not just our past hurts from this lifetime, but our past pain from all of our lifetimes.
Absolutely.
So that's very important to understand.
Well, and this is a beautiful point, because this means we've got these two things which look to be opposed but aren't, which is stay in the present, don't go into resistance, don't expect life to be exactly what your ego prefers. That might not even be for your higher good. And then, so there's this calm, there's this accepting what is, giving thanks for it, being in the present. And then on the other hand, there's this realization we carry a lot of trauma, a lot of ancestral intergenerational trauma, right? You know, my ancestor lived through, for instance, the famine in Ireland, two sides of the family, and world wars and the Depression, and of course your family likewise been through very rough times. Every family has, and so we've got that, plus we've got past life situations, and then we come into this life, we suffer a bit, but it's only to bring up the pain to heal it finally, that it's connected to all these other lives. So we're in this process of healing, admitting, yes, that's a pain, bring it forward, allow it to be healed and released. And, you know, with energy clearing, or there are many, many different ways of doing it. Some people use tapping, etc. And so we've got that process, but then also we've got this practice now of being in the present moment. And they're really not opposed. They're both very honest moments.
Very true. Very true. Remember, and that brings me back to that. It's not this or that. It's this and that. Always. It's always both. It's always this and that at the same time. Because people will ask, well, how does destiny and free will go hand in hand? And they do. Destiny and free will. Yes, we created a soul plan. When we came here, we had a mission. We came here for a purpose and a reason, but we have free will in every now moment. So destiny and free will does go hand in hand, and it's hard for the human brain to understand that, because it's very hard for the human brain, because we think of things so linear, but we have to remember we're multidimensional. And we did come here for, nobody punished us and said, okay, you've been bad, I'm going to put you on earth. It's not that. Our higher self that knows all of our lives, and our higher self says, okay, this is where this will serve you best. This is where I want you to be for your soul evolution. Everything that we experience is for our highest good and the highest good of the collective, because it's all still one. So yes, our destiny and our free will go hand in hand, and we are. And I do believe in. This is also science. Everything I believe in, I can find science backing it up, which I love. But there's the many worlds theory in science, where in every moment where we make a decision, we've made them both. It's just a different timeline. It's just the timeline splits. So that's how destiny and free will go hand in hand. Because everything that can happen does happen. But the thing is, this version of you, because there's many versions of us, this version will experience what this version vibrational matches. So that's where,
the vibrational match moment is unavoidable, isn't it? And it astounds me sometimes what good things will come to me once I shift my vibration up. And it's mainly emotions. This thought will follow emotion, and emotions follow thoughts. But if you can shift into any reason you can find, listening to some uplifting music, or practicing yoga or dance, or going out for a brisk walk. I'll try to do something sometimes physically that shifts my emotional outlook, and then my mental outlook opens up and says, okay, I can deal with this. It's not so awful,
exactly. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because here we're in a global quarantine situation right now. We can't go much, we can't do much, I teach piano lesson, and I teach from home, and I teach at a preschool. Now the preschool is closed, so I can't go out and teach at the preschool. A few students are still coming to the house for lessons, so I teach whoever comes. I teach, but we're very limited. We're in quarantine, a global quarantine, which is unprecedented. This has never happened before. So now is the time that Spirit actually wants us to slow down, spend more time in meditation, spend more time with family, spend more time doing the things you love to do. Go out in nature. I love to, there's a lake not far from here. I love to go to the lake and meditate. Do the things, you start writing that book or reading that book that you've always wanted to read. Now Spirit is giving us the time to slow down and really go within and do the things that we came here to do. So that is, and I'm also going to focus on even fasting a few days and just to clear out the body, to prepare the body, because I know to raise our vibration to 5D, our body is going through a physical change.
It is,
yes. So to clear out the old, fasting and detoxing and all that, drinking a lot of good water, spring water.
Yeah.
And
wonderful.
so it's like Spirit is saying, I'm giving you this time for that, because things are changing. It's true. Humanity is awake, and I'm so excited. I think those of us that are awake and know what's really happening right now, and I knew it was 2020 was going to be the year, just didn't know when and how. And now we're like in the midst of it. I'm like, wow.
You're about the 10th person I've heard say, I feel like something really big is going to happen this year.
Yes.
So it's actually really an encouragement to hear that. And I feel it coming as well. As soon as we got into January, I felt all this optimism and positive thought and feeling. It was so different from last year. And I had a lot of challenges last year, but I felt like this was pouring in from the universe. I didn't feel it was just like me getting into a better mood about life. This is really big.
Yes. Well, I've been actually, like I said, I listen to so much channel information, and I would say since the end of 2019, this message has been coming through that 2020 is the year of clear vision. 2020 is the year that humanity really starts to awaken, because everybody's eyes are going to be open. So there are a lot of big things coming. I can't say exactly what. And then again, it's what timeline you're on. So, but when this whole pandemic happened, like 3 weeks ago, I was thinking, oh, this is just the mainstream news again, trying to get everybody in a fearful state of being. And I'm like, I know that's what they do, but I'm like, they're taking it overboard. That's what I just thought. Okay, it's mainstream news trying to keep the masses in a state of fear. Okay, so I posted a vlog, don't let mainstream news get you in that state of fear. Because when we're in a state of fear is when we give away we are divine beings of light. We are very powerful, and we give away our power when we're in that state, that low vibration of fear. And so that was the first, that was, I guess, mid-Feb to late February, I was feeling that. And then when this truly turned into a pandemic, I was thinking, oh goodness, this is, the governments are now putting us in quote unquote voluntary martial law. I'm like, okay. So then that's when I was saying, wait a second, that's when Spirit was saying, wait a second, they're not separate from you. The government, the cabal, whatever, they're not separate from me. So I was like, okay, Spirit, you're right. And then that's when I jumped up to the next level, when I said, this is the time we've been waiting for. Yeah, it truly is. Because look around. What is happening now has never happened before. This is a global thing that's going on.
It is. It's changing the entire planet. That's what's fascinating about it.
Yes.
And that's what's giving people a feeling like we're not going to be the same after this.
Yes.
But in a good way,
Exactly. That's when it came to me, just, I don't know, maybe over the weekend, but it said, wait a second, this is what we've been waiting for. I knew there was going to be something big happening in 2020. I didn't know when, I didn't know how soon. And it's like, this is the something. And yes, after this, we will never be the same again.
No.
And in a good way. In a good way. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. Now, please share with the listeners how they can find you. And
sure.
Yes.
Just go to Caroline, which is CAROLINE.
Yes, how we spell our name.
Caroline.
Yes, Caroline.
And then
Sweet Caroline.
And then Oceana, which is just ocean with an A, Ryan.com, CarolineOceanaRyan.com. If you want to Google it, if you have trouble spelling, no problem, you'll find me.
Yes.
And you can just fill in the sign up form, fill in just your email address. You'll get the weekly message to light workers in your inbox every Friday, and other giveaways. There's a fair amount of free content on the site. I have also under my name on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, which is Free Energy Work.
Mm-hmm.
I channeled the collective, and on different issues. These are just like 8 or 10 minute videos, but it's really lovely energy work that people say helps them a lot. And some of it might have to do with health, some of it might have to do with relationships or abundance, or I'm going to do a new one this week to help people with what they're going through right now. We just had a free group call, which was that last Tuesday, yeah. Okay. And so I sent that out to everyone, the MP3. So you do get a lot of free content.
Yes.
There is an abundance group, which subscribers get special benefits, but anybody can call into the abundance calls.
Right.
Every second and fourth Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
You just go to my website, click onto Abundance Group, and you'll see the information there. Okay. So it's an open community. You don't have to put out a lot of dough to get a lot of blessings. Yes, you can't do that right now. That's okay. Come in and be part of our community. That's fine.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And you just reminded me, because I said, like, I am a channel junkie, meaning when I say channel, I listen to all the channel messages. That's how I found you. But a big one, a big channel message that is coming through from Archangel Michael and the Palladians is that there's the biggest mass global meditation for global unity and to stop the coronavirus in its tracks. Yes. And the date and time of that is April 4th at 6:11 a.m. UTC time. For me, I'm on the East Coast of the United States. That's actually 2:11 a.m. in the morning. And I plan to set my alarm clock at 2 a.m. I'd probably be awake anyway, because I just don't go to bed. But yes, so again, I will say it's the Archangel Michael and the Palladians are calling for the largest mass meditation in history, and it's at the opening of a Stargate. So that's why there's a specific time and day. And again, it's April 4th, 2020 at 6:11 a.m. UTC time, which is universal time, but that's a time zone. Some people think, oh, universal time now, so anytime, my time. No, universal time is a time zone. So, yes.
So it's 6 p.m. UTC?
No, 6:11 a.m.
a.m. 6:11
a.m. UTC, which is 2:11 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah, and there are time converters on.
It's actually 11 for you because you're on the West Coast. I looked that up because somebody asked me. Someone asked me. I'm in California, so what time is it for me?
11 a.m.
That is actually the day before. That is April 3rd, 11 p.m. You're 11. Time out. It's 11 p.m. your time. How great is that?
Yeah, very cool.
That is actually, people on the West Coast, you guys, that is great. So it's actually April 3rd. So not April 4th, because it's April 3rd, 11 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, and I only know that because someone else asked me, and so I was like, okay, I'll look it up. Okay, you go to Google, ask Google, but I'll do it for you. But yes, it's great.
Thank you.
This has been wonderful. This will actually air this coming Friday, which is what day? The 27th?
Yes, I guess.
Yes. It's the 27th. That's right. The 27th of March is when this show will air, and I think it's perfect timing. Perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Caroline.
Thank you so much for being my guest. This is, like I said, this is in perfect divine timing. All is well. I want everybody to realize all is well. There's nothing to fear. Go within and tap into your guides and your higher self, and they will tell you the same thing. Okay. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, my sweet. Much love.
All right. Much love. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Caroline Oceana Ryan. I really did. I think the topic of Ascension times is exactly what we needed in this time that we're going through right now. So we had actually I scheduled that show with her over a month ago. So long before the pandemic had started. So it was just very, very perfect divine timing that show came about. I also want to announce that I am offering a free mentoring session. And if you're interested in having a free mentoring session with me, you can go to my website, which is awake, the number 2 oneness radio.org. I had to think about that for a second. So it's awake, use the number 2 oneness radio.org, and you can contact me there and let me know you're interested in a free mentoring session. Also, I am hosting a monthly Zoom meeting. The next monthly Zoom meeting will be Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you're interested, again, go to my website. Just let me know you're interested in that monthly Zoom meeting coming up in April, and I will send you the link to that meeting. I also am sponsoring free online events on my website. So if you go to my website, you'll see a tab that says free online events. Just click on the tab and you'll see a list of free online events you can register for if you're interested. And also, I welcome you to pledge $1 or $5 a month to help support the show. Awake to Oneness Radio is completely nonprofit. Everything I do is from my heart and passion, and it's a calling. It's what I'm here to do. And if you are inspired to help support the station, not station, it's a radio show, not a station, okay? If you're inspired to support the show, I gladly accept donations, and a pledge of $1 or $5 a month would be perfect. And there's a donation button on my site as well where you can make that pledge. So thank you very much. We are going through some difficult times, but they're actually exciting times when you look at it from a higher perspective. When you look at it with 5D eyes, you see this is what we've been waiting for. So, namaste to all. Have a wonderful day. God bless.